Aisha's morning began like any other, filled with a buzz of excitement that only a child anticipating an adventure could feel. She had been looking forward to the class. 5 excursion to the National Museum for weeks. It wasn't just about the trip. It was about the chance to see the artifacts she'd read about, to laugh with her friends on the bus, and to finally step beyond the school walls into a world she'd only imagined. She woke up early, ironing her uniform and carefully packing her favorite snacks into her small bag. Her older sister had lent her a camera, a prized possession she'd promised to return without a scratch. Everything was perfect. At least, it seemed that way until the unexpected happened. As Aisha was about to leave the house, her younger brother, Sani, let out a weak cry. She turned to see him trembling on the sofa, his small frame curled up as beads of sweat glistened on his forehead. Her mother rushed to his side, pressing her hand to his head. "He has a fever," her mother said, her voice laced with worry. "Aisha, I need you to stay home and help look after him." "I'll go to the market to get medicine." The words felt like a blow. "But Mama," Aisha protested, her voice breaking. "The trip. I've been waiting for this." "I know, my dear, but your brother needs you." "There will be other trips," her mother replied firmly, though her eyes softened with sympathy. Defeated, Aisha watched from the window as the school bus roared past their house, filled with the laughter and cheers of her classmates. She imagined Tolu, her best friend, saving her a seat by the window, and Chinedu, the class clown, already cracking jokes. She felt a lump form in her throat, but she swallowed it down and turned back to Sani, who needed her now more than ever. The morning dragged on. Aisha stayed by her brother's side, sponging his forehead and whispering reassurances as he drifted in and out of sleep. Her mind, however, was miles away, picturing her classmates exploring the museum, snapping photos and learning about ancient artifacts. The regret weighed heavy on her chest. It was early afternoon when a commotion outside drew her attention. The voices of neighbors, urgent and hushed, carried through the open window. Aisha stepped outside, her heart racing. "The school bus crashed on the expressway," someone said. The tire burst and it veered off the road. Aisha's breath caught. Her legs felt weak as she clutched the door frame. The trip, her classmates, the bus. She ran back inside, calling for her mother, who had just returned from the market. "Mama, is it true? Did the bus crash?" she asked, her voice trembling. Her mother's face was pale as she nodded. "Yes, Aisha, it's true. But thank God no lives were lost. Everyone is being taken to the hospital now." Aisha sank into a chair, her mind spinning with images of her friends in the wreckage. She thought of Tolu, always sitting beside her, and wondered if she was hurt. She felt a strange mix of relief and guilt. Relief that she hadn't been there, and guilt that she had been spared. Over the next few days, details of the accident trickled in. Most of the children had minor injuries, scrapes, bruises, and a few sprained ankles. Some were still in the hospital recovering. When school resumed, the atmosphere was somber. The excitement of the trip had been replaced by whispers of fear and sadness. When Tolu returned to school with a bandage on her arm, she hugged Aisha tightly. "You were lucky you didn't come," she said. "It was the scariest thing ever." The bus flipped and everyone was screaming. "I thought we were going to die." Aisha nodded, but the words didn't bring her comfort. She felt out of place, as if she didn't belong in the shared experience of her classmates. While they spoke of the accident in hushed tones, she stayed silent, unable to fully relate to their trauma. Yet she couldn't help but feel she'd missed something important. Not the trip itself, but the bond forged in surviving something so terrifying together. In the quiet moments, Aisha found herself reflecting on the events of that day. Sani's fever, which had felt like a cruel twist of fate, now seemed like a strange blessing. Staying home had kept her safe, even if it left her feeling disconnected. Slowly, she began to see the bigger picture, how life could change in an instant, how unexpected events could alter the course of everything. One evening, as she sat with her brother, who was now fully recovered, Aisha smiled. "You know, Sani, because of you, I missed the trip," she said teasingly. He looked up at her with wide eyes. "I'm sorry, sister." She ruffled his hair. "Don't be. Maybe it was for the best." In time, Aisha let go of her regret. She didn't know if she'd ever get another chance to visit the museum, but she learned to appreciate the quiet blessings that life offered, even when they came disguised as disappointments. And as she walked to school each day, She looked at her classmates with a new sense of gratitude, knowing that they had all, in their own way, been given a second chance.